We just had one of the craziest Fortnite experiences less than a year ago, bringing Fortnite to 11 million people playing the game at the same time. That all being thanks to Fortnite OG, the chapter 1 being brought back and kind of being turned into a mini season. Well, like not even a year after last one, we're already getting another Fortnite OG. We don't need more Fortnite OG maps returning as season. Not only needs, what we shouldn't get so many of these. It could even somewhat just completely destroy Fortnite if OG seasons like Candy just brought in like, here you go, more OG, more OG. Oh, you want chapter 4 too? Here you go, chapter 4 OG. That would actually be the only good one. Mega City, I miss you so much. Where did you go? The best city ever. But wait, before you murder me and shoot me into a bill, stop! It's really important to exactly understand why I'm saying that we shouldn't get any more like OG Fortnite seasons. Cause it genuinely can hurt the future of this game badly, and this damage could happen in many ways. The nostalgia of past chapters being ruined, the storyline of the game especially getting hurt badly, making the new chapters be way worse than they should be, and not enough time for the devs to work on the new chapter launches. This idea of like bringing back past chapter maps as like a OG season thing, it could be extremely harmful to this game. To start this off, I have a question from you. Why would you exactly want Fortnite to keep making OG seasons and bringing old chapters back, and not want them to focus on making genuinely good new chapters instead? Focusing on, for example, making chapter 5 itself be iconic and fun for you, rather than going to the past. Fortnite chapters nowadays just release every single year, meaning that the amount of time the devs have to work on the new maps and make the chapters be actually special in their own way is just much less than it used to be. Now just think about how right at the end of a chapter, when a whole new map is supposed to release and the devs are supposed to make it as awesome as possible, right at that moment you just shove in an OG season in there, having to work on bringing back an entire old map, making sure that the recreation of it is well done and it's not buggy, that it works with the new graphic evolutions and the mechanics and so on. Then not just bringing it back, but also going through many of its seasons and map changes and so on. Just think about the amount of time, resources and like focus the devs have to like take away from the new chapter coming up and put all of that into this like one little bit of buff OG season. Instead of making like the first OG season, maybe the devs could have put more time into making the attachments actually be good in chapter 5. Do more weapons and mechanics, just make the launch of the chapter actually be special. Exactly like how amazing the launch of chapter 3 was with the animation at the start, and just it was so well done. A start of a chapter needs to feel special and amazing. It needs to be well done like the start of chapter 3 with all of the cool things it did. So imagine, rather than making a 1 month long like OG season, put all of their resources into making the new chapter's launch be as amazing as masterpiece as chapter 3. Bring in the Rock Johnson, my boy, in there just sitting near me like, boy, listen to me. You have been spending too much time in this game simping on Emma Frost or Gwenpool. Get the hell out of there and touch some grass and find some real life woman. Imagine what Foundation did back then, but actually happening at the start of chapter 6 with maybe like Hope or Jones or I don't know, Midas talking to us. That would be so cool. A new chapter is just a number. What matters instead is the direction that Fortnite takes and how they handle the game. And the chapters changing a number going up, that has like no effect on that. So rather than focusing on, man, remember the good days, the days of the chapter 1, it was so good, or chapter 2. But why don't you instead ask Fortnite to make the newer chapters be actually good, make them be special like the older ones. Make new memories for you with the new chapters and so on. Like for example, I mean chapter 5, most of these chapters sucked, but they were still some really cool moments like the mini events, and season 4, this is like by far the best season of this chapter. So why not ask them to do more things like this to make you new like memories and stuff in the chapter? That's exactly why I say that Fortnite should not just abuse the idea of nostalgia so much, making like 1 month like OG seasons, bring back the map and everything, throw it out there for the OG lovers to enjoy it. that's not the right way to handle this. They should instead learn from the past about the past chapters and everything people love about them. Keep everything that people love about the older chapters, but improve on them, evolve them, add things into them in the newer chapters. For example, people love the graphics and the colors of chapter 4. Make the newer chapters also have like really similar to colors to chapter 4, so it keeps the vibe and just the amazing vibrant colors. Don't go overly realistic like how chapter 5 has. Then people like the storyline of chapter 2 and its live events. Then don't suddenly remove resources from the live events and the storyline of the game to put it into, I don't know, some random things that nobody cares about. Keep that resources in the storyline and just keep cooking. Simple. Just keep cooking. Make more live events, more storyline quests or voice line things in the newer chapters. Don't make them less. Then people just love the weapons and the gameplay flow of chapter 3. Then try to make the gameplay, the weapons of this chapter 5 and the future ones feel like chapter 3 or even the POIs and so on. And then people like the simplicity of chapter 1. Then just simply make a separate, more simple Fortnite for those people. Exactly what Reload has done. Again, we need the newer chapters to feel like an evolution of the past chapters, learning from their mistakes and their good things to evolve them, bring them together. We don't need to just go back to one of the old chapters or completely ignore everything they have done. Both of those are terrible ideas. Doing an OG season to please the people who are massive fan of like the older chapters, while not using the ideas of those older chapters and kind of improving on them in the newer chapters, that's a terrible idea in my opinion. And it can also be really harmful to the quality of the newer chapters, distract the devs from focusing on important things. Not to mention they're also gonna run out of chapters which people are actually nostalgic towards, like chapter 1 and chapter 2, maybe chapter 3 too, but that's it. I'm probably the only person who's nostalgic towards chapter 4. That's because of the gorgeous graphics and mega city. I miss so much. Come back. Now let's talk about the biggest issue of these OG seasons we have been getting. To go back to the older chapters, time travel is needed. And we all know how harmful time travel can be to stories when it's done horribly. Traveling to the past way too much and messing with time will overly complicate the story of the game. Even in the last OG season alone, still people are so confused about the storyline now because of it. And like after that, after people still have questions about what the hell even happened in that season. Where are we now? What happened to the timeline? What's going on? We're not even done with that. Another OG season. We're gonna travel to the past yet again. So... Yo! There's an anime girl! I hope it doesn't make the storyline as complicated as the last OG season did. Not to mention it can complicate the story plots, like people having no idea of what's gonna happen to the 7. Are we gonna get the corrupted version of them? How about Geno? Where he is at? Where even are we at the storyline at this point? Basically, yeah, if you mess up time travel in your story, it's gonna mess everything up, which is ironic because the butterfly effect. Now, yet another way that OG seasons harm the game. Rather than wishing for chapters to end faster and newer ones to come, we should cheer for the newer chapters and want them to be as iconic as the ones before it. Don't you want a Fortnite experience as good as chapter 1 or 2 or even 3 or even better? Rather than us just keep going back to the past, just go back to the past, repeat playing the same thing over and 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 over. It's really good to sometimes explore the past and the history we have gone through in Fortnite. The first Fortnite OG season was fun to have, I'm not gonna lie. Getting a new one on chapter 2, sure, why not? Since that chapter was really special story-wise. But after this one, epic, please. We don't need more OG seasons. We just had one like not even a year ago. Now we're getting another. No more. Unless we get one in like 5 years in the future or something like that. Doing an OG season and going through the history of this game needs to feel like a special moment. Like a 10th birthday Fortnite special thing. Doing it at the end of every single Fortnite chapter would not only ruin the idea of an OG season, but also it would make it feel like Fortnite is just disrespecting its past, using it to make free money. Money for me, more money.
I like money.
Let's hope that Fortnite genuinely has a really good reason for why they want to do another OG season soon. Especially after this one, just don't make them be part of the storyline anymore. Do this as just a fun thing here and there as kind of like an LTM and so on. That could be fine, that wouldn't harm the game anymore, but imagine if we at the end of every chapter, it's always about time travel. Even this very OG chapter 2 coming up could be really harmful towards the story, but I kind of have reasons to believe that it won't be. Last time they did an OG season, it was to hype up the metaverse games coming after it. I think that this time that's happening again, but for a better reason. There has been a game mode in works for many years now. It was called Fortnite Open World. This game mode is meant to be us actually exploring the Fortnite realities outside the island and getting to learn the stories within them too, the storyline missions and lots of cool things. This game mode might very well release at the beginning of chapter 6, and this OG season could be Fortnite trying to hype us for it. I mean, just think about it, and a storyline focused open world game mode coming. What's better to do before it than going through the most iconic storyline chapter in the game? We were even told by Midas that it was going on to a world much bigger than the island, which to me personally that means that Midas is definitely going towards the open world right now. The OG season coming up is focused on the first 3 seasons of the chapter, which all of them were Midas focused. So here is my crazy brain, Professor Lore Brain, just grabbing all of these clues, just going insane, crazy, mega, super crazy, duper, like every single season. It's time to stop! Basically, I just put all of the clues together. What if Midas is the one taking us with himself onto the open world, therefore becoming the face of the open world game coming up too? Doing that by traveling onto chapter 2 to his device with us. A device that was supposed to end the loop of Fortnite but failed. But now that we're back in time, this time Midas makes sure that the device actually does what it's meant to. Therefore, the device finally fully breaks the loop and we're free from it. So after that, we can go to our homeworlds and open world begins. Okay, I've been yapping way too much, but not enough. Do you see this video right here? This is one of the best Fortnite storyline videos of all time. The entire storyline of Dr. Domain Fortnite and even his history and everything in the Marvel comics and so on, all of it is in here. Trust me, this is one of the best storyline videos you're gonna ever see.